We're doing
Just
good.
having issues with my Amazon account at the moment.
We are, yeah. I'm
We'll
hearing
get to it
all this interesting stuff about setting up accounts and what direction. Oh, we're live. Look at that. Where's Jackie?
Morning, Captain.
Hey, what's up? You know what? Let's go ahead and let's look at some people here real quick. Hold on a second here. Hold on. Here we go. There's Steven, Leah, Stuart. Good to see Christy, Julian, Nicole. Hey, Amanda. Good to see you. Look at that smile. There's Mark and Carol Ann, Janet. Welcome to all of you. Jonathan, Gail. Gail is here. 1/8, 1/8 of a person is here. I don't know who that is. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong control. Nicole, welcome. Sam, I just met Sam. Sam was on our welcome session.
Hi,
Good to see you guys. We're going to go ahead and get this show on the road right now. I'm going to go ahead and mute all, and you guys have control of your microphones. Everybody's good. Special welcome to Adrian, and I see Mary Beth is here. Hey, Mary Beth, and of course, look at yeah. You know what, guys? There was already 208 people in the room. Let me say this. Thank you all for being a part of this. I got some feedback yesterday on what we did yesterday, and shout out to Leah and Stuart. Thank you, Stuart, for your diligence and your interest. We had a bit of a topic discussion yesterday here in this forum about focusing on where we want to go, right? And not all the barriers, but what we can do. And of course, being grateful for all that we have in terms of our ability, our assets, our community here, everything that we're doing to build ourselves up and to, yes, rise above uncongenial circumstances. So I want to again acknowledge everyone who participated yesterday, and acknowledge you all who get together for the meeting before the meeting, which apparently has become a very popular thing. You guys are talking about LLCs and LTDs and what comes first, the month or the day. And then is this the American format? Is this the British format? Something about the United States, and I'm American, so I could speak freely about this. Why is it that the whole rest of the world is doing metric and we're still on the imperial thing, which I guess we got from England, right? So I guess we could say it's England's fault. So I'm still measuring, temperatures in Fahrenheit. I say that it's 110 degrees out here in Phoenix today, and you guys are like, what is he even talking about? I don't even know. Everybody else is on centigrade. Or why do we put the month before the date? So today would be 06/02/2020 in the United States, not anywhere else in the world. Anyway, when you're looking at this stuff, setting up Amazon sellers accounts, understand it's an American company, and you got to make sure you actually read the instructions. You know what? One of the first things I mention to people when I meet them, in fact, I'm looking at a few of you right now. Welcome to all of our brand new members who we just had our welcome session. There was 15 of us in that room, which is every day, multiple times a day. We're having that sort of a session. But one of the things I mentioned is that the number one cause of confusion and inability is misunderstood words, right? Which could mean that I just don't know what the word means, which could mean I assumed what they meant and I didn't really get it, which could mean I didn't even look at the words because I tend to not read the instructions, right? That could be another thing. So when it comes to the tedious tasks, and most of what we do here isn't that tedious, but like the tedious tasks of setting up accounts or, things like that, which are a prerequisite to you actually doing business. Okay. Suffer through it, read every word. In fact, guys, this may be, you may find this funny, but with the coaching that I do around the industry, throughout various business models and stuff, I have sometimes set up like training websites and pages where I'm telling people, here's what you do to set up your account or your communications or whatever it happens to be. And I've actually, in some cases, when repeatedly I hear I can't figure the thing out, I actually say in the instructions, like in the preamble, please, in all caps, bold and all caps and underline, please read every word on this page. Because the questions that come up a lot of times are right there. Like that's the instructions. Read the instructions, right? So yeah, some of this stuff can be a little bit tedious. Of course, that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to continue our topic from yesterday. And again, I want to acknowledge a few of you for your feedback yesterday, because it is it's my intent, my sole intent with these get-togethers, these broadcasts, these meetings, daily success calls, whatever we're calling this. It is my intent that you, as an individual, become someone who can come in here, regardless of the tech, which exists for everybody. Everybody's got the tech, right? Here's Amazon. It exists. Okay, that's fine. But you can come in here and make a spectacle of yourself. I mean, somebody's got to. Is it just Sophie? Is Sophie a unicorn or something? Is she magical? No. But what does she have? She has mega intent. Intent. That's the trick. All right. So do you have intent? We're going to talk about that here today. I got 244 people here with us now, so we can't go around the table and do this, or we'll be here all day. Okay. But I definitely want a couple of people to come out here and share, because this is an extension of what we were talking about yesterday. We were talking about being grateful for what you already have. And again, those things could be obviously physical assets, right? Things that you can touch, right? Those things could be one of the things I'm most grateful for is my ability. Yes, as a person who can think and act, right? In fact, someone once asked me, John, if you could have $1 million right now in your hand, or your abilities to earn and to learn to do business and whatever, which would you have right now? Instant gratification? Absolutely not. Not even close. No chance. I'll take the abilities, right? Now, of course, I can look and say, well, yeah, I have used my ability to think and act and make decisions and learn stuff. I have used that to a multiple 7-figure result in my life. Okay. But even if you haven't, even if there's not already the fruit on the tree, right, where you can say, oh, look, I just made $1 million. Okay. So if you can't ostensibly see that yet, still, can you say that to yourself? You know what? I'll take these abilities because I can make all the money I want with the ability. It's kind of like the old saying, teach a man to fish, right? And you feed him for a lifetime versus hand him a fish, right? And here's your fish. That's it. Have a nice day. Who knows about tomorrow, right? Well, we want to know about tomorrow. And that's where we're going today. Knowing about tomorrow. This can't be a vague thing. This is like what we were talking about yesterday with gratitude. One of the things that we can, and I think should be grateful for, is the goals, which we haven't already reached, by the way, but the goals as if they are a guaranteed future outcome. The reason that we show up here in the first place, there's got to be a reason. And I know I got some feedback from some of you who were saying, you know what, John, I never really thought about focusing on like the why. But, now that I've been through the Jetstream process, which I know a lot of you are going through right now, and you got to hear from some mega experts in the area of cultivating the why, cultivating yourself as an entrepreneur, as a goal achiever, right? Now I can see, what perhaps I've been missing for much of my life. And they don't teach this stuff in like government schools and things like that. I mean, we learn to recite the text and we learn to do the arithmetic, and that's all very useful, I suppose. Certainly, you got to be able to add, subtract, that's all good. You got to be able to read the text. Okay, that's fine. But what's the purpose of that basic level education? So I'm assuming many of us went through public school, government school, whatever. Some of us had a private school or homeschooling, and you learned something, right? Which did what? It got you this far so that now you can learn a specialized knowledge, right? Napoleon Hill, in his classic book, Think and Grow Rich, talked about the difference between general knowledge and specialized knowledge. Henry Ford, was accused of being an idiot because he did not know general knowledge tidbits like who is Benedict Arnold, or how many kumquats are on the apple tree. I don't know, little stupid questions. He actually sued a company for libel and defamation because they publicly, in the press, they called him an idiot, and he won the case. He's like, look, I've got a whole staff of people. I can click an electronic button on my desk and I can summon any one of these people to answer any of these silly questions that you're asking me right now. That's not the answer of an idiot. That's an answer of an educated man. An educated man or woman is someone who has the mental faculties to produce the results that they want, right? To get any result they want or its equivalent without violating the rights of others, and by producing benefits in the process. That is someone who could take data, someone who could take an opportunity and turn it into fruit on the tree. That is an educated person. So what is the point of all the general knowledge if we're not taking it one step further, because you didn't come this far just to come this far. Hooray, you graduated high school. Hooray for you. You're done. You know, most people never read a book after they graduate government school. That's it. And those who don't read are no better off than those who can read. So what was the whole point of you going through 12 years of education and maybe another 4 with college, university, what have you? Obviously, if you're a doctor or something, you know the point of that education. But now we're in the field of specialized knowledge. That's not general knowledge anymore. Learn how to pull somebody's gallbladder out without killing them, right? And without getting sued for medical malpractice. That's pretty specific, right? That's not we're going to go, and just kill 12 years learning general stuff. Okay. So the whole point of the general stuff was to prepare you to be able to do something specific, hence Blue Sky Academy and everything that we're engaged in here. Right. So to what end? That's the question. To what end are you now engaging voluntarily? To what end are you engaging in that? You got to know, because look, there will be the roadblocks. There will be the little pitfalls and the little ankle biting things like, oh, right. Like we heard Adrian and a couple people here talking about, the date format on the thing, and the Amazon disapproved the application, and oh my goodness. Right. So these are little roadblocks, which we could jump right over, right? It might be a little bit tedious at first. Yeah, you get it done, but that's because you got a reason to get it done. What is that reason? And it cannot be vague. It cannot be vague. So a lot of times I have this conversation as time permits with people when they go through a welcome session, which typically happens before we get into the big room here, the big forum. And the conversation is, what do you want? Which sounds like a really simple question. What do you want? A lot of times there's some very specific answers. You know what? This job sucks, and I'm here to replace and exceed my income. I got to make $10,000 a month, and then I can fire my boss and I can get on with it. Not to mention retire my spouse, my husband, my wife. Take the kids to Disney World, do the private school thing, whatever it is. But there's specificity and there's definiteness of purpose. I love that. Oh my goodness, I love that. Other times it's quite ambiguous. Well, whatever's possible. Whatever's possible. Or, well, I don't want to limit myself. What? Where did who taught you that we're here to set limits on ourselves? Where'd you get that? Who sold you that bill of goods? We're not here to build the ceiling. We're here to build the floor. We're not setting limits. We're setting standards. These are our standards. This is the minimum that I will accept to even show up here, right? I mean, you're showing up here for a reason. There's got to be a payout, right? This is the minimum. Here are my standards. And for a lot of us, we wind up raising our standards once you get a bit more exposure to the reality of what's happening here. My goodness, there's billions changing hands daily on the interwebs. Would you like some, right? And sometimes people think when I'm asking, what do you want, right? Or what's your goal? What's your reason for showing up here? Paint me a picture. Paint me here. What's the ideal scene? It's 6 months. It's a year down the road, right? You're making some money. How much money, right? What does that look like? Paint me a picture, if you will. Not based on where you've been, but where you're going. And then they paint a picture based on where they've been, as if yesterday sets a precedent that then dictates what they can expect moving into the future. It's so easy to do because it's known, right? We already know what that looks like. So let's base it on that, whether we know we're doing that or not. Okay, well, can we hit the reset button, please? Can we just broaden our gaze for a moment here and just consider there could be much higher standards for you? Which brings up the other complication. Well, if I get more, somebody else gets less. John, you're saying there's billions to be had. Well, who am I taking it from? This is another subconscious thing that a lot of people do to stuck themselves at a certain spot or a certain level of self-expression because of the competitive mindset that has been drilled into people a lot of times with, government school and whatever. Like here, we've got cooperation going on. Everyone here is looking to cooperate with this guy, Jeff Bezos, and the website that he put together. That is a cooperative, capitalistic opportunity, right? Where where here we are going to produce more value in the marketplace and thereby earn more money. You can't do it alone. Neither can Jeff. Amazon doesn't exist without somebody, with something to sell. Okay, so that's a cooperative effort. Great. And yet, if we've been indoctrinated into the competitive mindset of I get more, somebody else gets left, like there's only so much pie. There's only so much pie in the cosmic universe, man. And you get a little piece of pie, I get a little piece of pie, and I don't want to be greedy. That's the competitive mindset. That's lack and limitation. That is scarcity thinking. That's what that is. You want more pie? You're not taking it from somebody else. You're making the pie. We can all make pie. Make as much pie as you want. Is there any way to run out of things to buy and sell on the internet, in planet Earth? No, look, there's 20,000 people born a day, and they get older, one day older every day, right? That's just simple math. Okay, but let's say, let's look for a moment here. Let's look at baby boomers. All right, so baby boomers, which is an Americanism. Hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. These are people born after the Second World War, and large boom in population. A lot of babies were born around that time, right? The war's over, hooray, let's get busy doing other stuff now, right? So these people now are in that age group where a lot of retirees, a lot of disposable income, they buy stuff. They're discovering online commerce, whether they like it or not, because, I mean, after all, right, Main Street's closed in a lot of places. They've got disposable income. We got a lot of baby boomers on here right now. Good news for you, right? You're on both sides of the equation. The point is that if we just look at that, just that one segment of the population, that one generation, if you will, it's impossible to saturate, right? And every day, more and more people enter, let's say, that age group or that group of interests that may have, and of course, we all have different interests, right? Is there any way to saturate this? Is there any way that you'll run out of pie? There's no way to run out of pie. And I know we've got people here who are actually looking at, unique, like kind of invention kind of a thing, right? Where we're gonna go ahead and cause a product segment to exist that didn't exist before. I think I brought up an example the other day of fidget spinners, right? So what the hell is a fidget spinner? Somebody is walking around. Michelle, you've got a great view. You got some skyscrapers there. This is yeah, I'm seeing you over there. Look at that.
Sorry, Chicago skyline.
Look at that. Yeah, we're getting a little geography while we're at it. I'll go ahead and mute your mic. It caught my eye. I was like, I'm looking at a skyscraper right now. So but think about this. My daughter's 9 years old, right? And there isn't a week that goes by where we don't have a cardboard box showing up here on our doorstep with something. And it's different stuff every time. All right. So somebody's getting pie, right? My daughter gets what she wants, and the seller gets what they want. Why am I bringing all this up? Because yes, we're grateful for what we have. We should also be grateful for where we're going. And you need to know where that is. And it can't be vague. It can't be vague. So consider that, right? That which we focus on, again, I'll quote Henry Ford, right? Obstacles are those frightful things we see when we take our eyes off our goals. You got to know where you're going. You got to. If you don't got that, you got no shot, right? So what do you want? Answer that. Write it down. Do a dream board. Do something where you can put in your face every day, here's where I'm going. Here's the purpose for me showing up here and consuming and executing all this specialized knowledge that I'm gaining, learning from Sophie. This isn't general knowledge anymore. Okay, you got your fill of that. This is with a purpose. Now you got the general knowledge, you know how to study the specialized knowledge. Now you're going to do that with intent. Yes, intent, and you must know what that intent is. This is huge, guys. And this is where people, you know what, I'm going to end with a story. It's a biblical story here. Okay, there was this guy named David, and he was a part of this group of people, and they were being threatened and attacked by this other group of people. And the biggest, scariest guy in that group was named Goliath. And he was a big, scary guy. Okay. And so there's all these other soldiers here that they're all scared of Goliath. And so, the reward for anybody who takes down this Goliath guy, the reward is you live tax-free for the rest of your life, and you get to marry the princess. All these other guys here, they're all scared of Goliath. David's like, tell me about that reward again. Tell me again about the princess. Remind me what the tax free. Yeah. Tell me about the princess again. Guy picks up a rock, knocks Goliath out, grabs his sword, takes his head off. Sign me up, baby. We're done, right? So, but why was he able to do that? Why? It all comes down to here is the carrot. You've got to know what that is. Okay. You can't be vague about that. Same reality, same tools, same rock on the ground that anybody could have done the thing, right? But more important than what we do is who's doing it. Who is doing it? Someone with a clear intent? Oh, I hope so. You think Sophie has clear intent? You know she's got clear intent. Yeah. Be like that. Okay, but your own version of it. Your own version. Imitation is suicide. Ralph Emerson said that, right? Imitation is suicide. Be you. Be the best you. You just got to know what that looks like. And if we're not progressing, we're disintegrating. You're either growing or dying. It's one or the other, right? Nothing rests. Nothing. So where are you going? Where are you going? In fact, that was the title of a book by this great Swami, this great guru. I've studied lots of different. You guys know I've been into philosophy and theology and all this for 30 years. Where are you going was the title of a book by Muktananda. Interesting stuff. Kind of an introspection. Like, where am I going? Okay, guys, I'm done. I'm done talking. I'm going to go ahead and open up the mics. And if you'd like to share, and again, we got 271 people joining us live now, plus everyone on YouTube. Good to see you guys on YouTube. Actually, I don't see you, but you see me. But if you'd like to share where you're going, like why you're here, and no filibusters or anything, but we'll go around the table a little bit. John. And if you've got something, an intent you want to put out there to lift yourself and give an example to others, I would love to hear it. I hear Julian in the UK. Julian, where'd your camera go?
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Right. My battery died. I'm back on. I'll be back on in a second. I'm here.
Okay. And the final words.
Can I say something, John?
Hold on a second. I think the final words from Julian were, "I'm here," and that was the last we heard.
No,
all right. Well, hopefully we'll get Julian back. Go ahead, Adrian.
Hi, John. I'm loving your inspiration about where you're going. As I've just put in the check in the text, I've put my dream house on the fridge, and I look at that every single day, and I say to myself, that's going to be my house. How am I going to get it? How am I work for it? So if I look down and I'm down and doing something, I go back to the fridge and go, I need to do that. I need to do whatever it takes to get the house. That is going my house. And that's my mentality of doing things. And to be successful.
Amen, brother. Look, they're building beautiful houses for somebody. Maybe for you, right? Well, name it and claim it. Well done, Adrian. I think we got Julian back.
Yeah. So, I mean, talking about inspiration and planning for the future, I mean, I found the whole thing really inspirational. And I think I'm not a great, in some respects, I wouldn't admit any defeat or say that I'm very cynical about stuff, but I found the whole program, in particular the course, brilliant. And it's given me a lot more self-belief. And I don't mind sharing what I'd said previously in the chat, that I had a business, I've had a couple of failures. Sometimes you write yourself off, but then you sometimes need a kick up the arse to get yourself into gear. And this has been very inspirational. So looking for the future and planning where I want to be, and the vision and the books that you've read. And I'm reading 7 Habits at the minute. And one of the things that just going back to what you said earlier is about, he refers to the golden goose, kill the golden goose to get all the eggs out, find out that there's no eggs inside because they're all going to be laid one at a time. It's Aesop's fable. And I think that is, as I said, it's little baby steps and moving forward, and it's planning for the future and seeing your vision. If you can visualize what you want, eventually it comes. And it's taken me a while to get my head round to do that. But actually, I see that now. I see that vision and I see that future, and you've got a lot more self-belief. And I think sometimes it's very difficult to dust yourself down and get up again when you've had a few knocks, but being grateful for where I am. And yesterday was very inspirational about gratitude, because you don't think you're moving forward, but actually if you take stock and look back at where you've arrived at, you've done well. It's like with the course, I've been on it 5 weeks. You don't think you've made any progress, but then when you're teaching and talking to other people and telling them about stuff, you've obviously made progress, because if you if you view everything as though you're going to teach it to somebody else, I think you digest it slightly differently. I think that's my opinion anyway. So that was.
There's the voice of experience right there. What Julian just said. If you well, I'll put it this way: if you learn something with the intent that you're going to have to teach it to somebody else, oh my goodness, does that raise the bar on your own standards of understanding? So, Julian, so good to see you. At some point, we're going to go take a ride. We're going to do that. That's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll ship my bike over to Arizona.
Oh, we got lots of motorcycles here, brother. Lots of
I
motorcycles.
just have one question. I'm assuming Tombstone is a place of natural beauty.
Oh, Tombstone is a historical site. You're joking, right? Okay, very good. Okay, yeah. No, I for my birthday, the family we went to Tombstone, which is about an hour and a half drive from Tucson, down near the Mexican border. And we saw the reenactment at the OK Corral, the gunfight, and the stagecoaches, and we're riding with the horses and everything. And it's like the 1800s there still every day. It's like the 1800s.
It's on my bucket list.
Yeah. Oh, it's major biker destination. Major biker destination. All right. Good stuff. I see Nikki Alexander Dan's got her hand up, or his hand up. Hello, Nikki. Unmute Nikki, please. Unmute Nikki. Can we hear you?
Unmute. Is that clever? Have I done it now?
Yay!
Yay!
There you are.
Hello. I just wanted to say that when the sort of knowing what you want to achieve out of this came up either in another module or whatever, I made my I'm going to lift it up here. So my phone and my iPad all the time telling me I want to pay my daughter's uni off, I want to get a new dog, I need to do the repairs to my house, I definitely need a cute new car, and do I want a nice holiday, or am I going to buy the villa? That's it.
Wow. Well done.
That's what I need. I need those things. And no, I'm not. I'm normally the person who would actually give up on day 3 and think it wasn't for me and I didn't deserve success. But here I am about nearly 2 weeks in. So I'm really excited. I'm loving it every day.
Wow. Nikki, well done.
Thank you.
Look at that. So look at that
Just every
progress,
time,
guys.
every
What Nikki just said is that she's typically in and out of stuff and or had been. So that's not her reality anymore. So let's not affirm that, right? But look at the transformation. Transformation's upon us, Nikki. Well done. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you, John.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. When you write your first book, make sure you give me a little footnote. There was this crazy Italian guy, John Lavenia, who taught me this stuff. Okay, we're gonna go to James next, and then Leah and Stuart. James, go ahead.
Hey, John, I would just like share with the group that the positive aspects of watching this and the books that you suggested. I've got through The Power of Consistency 3 days ago, and I've taken through it a lot of things is that I didn't realize how much some of my things in the past still affected me going forward. And it's really helped me to get rid of my junk in my trunk, so to speak. In my sales in the past, I've had some great successes. I've also had people steal ideas from me and they used them to get it. And I've always been really resentful of that and carried that around with me. And I've learned to let it go. So that has really helped me going forward of setting my goals again. And I feel this freedom in it, that I'm allowed to think of things that I thought of 10 years ago. And that something that happened 10 or 15 years ago has no merit of what I do today, tomorrow, and going forward. So I just wanted to share that with the group that it's time to start dreaming again and go for those goals, because I know I have the capabilities, and just go for it. And also with sort of ties into what we did yesterday of the gratitude, that now it's just my business and no one can steal my ideas. It's all what I do. So how much effort and work and dedication I put into this will be direct output, and it will show directly for me. I don't have to worry about anyone else. So I just wanted to share that with the group.
Thank you so much, James. I hear such definiteness in your voice. That is so good to hear. Awesome, brother. Awesome. Let's go to Leah and Stuart.
Hey guys, good morning. Hey John, hey everybody.
There he is.
You guys are doing well. I wanted to share a testimonial of manifestation and the power of visualization with you guys. Many folks have gone through the Jetstream process. If you haven't made it all the way through, I want to say it's the last Jetstream set of videos where you have to write what your perfect day is and what you would like your life to be like, and to really visualize that with detail and write that stuff down. And for us, that was maybe a month ago, 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, something like that. And then a couple weeks ago was Leah's mom's birthday, and we have a little camper trailer, a little RV, and we dragged it off into the forest and had a little party for Leah's mom's birthday. I had to go the night before because we wanted to make sure that we got the nice camp spot kind of thing. So I was sitting there at night. I stayed by myself in the little camper. I woke up the next morning waiting for Leah and her mom and the cousins and the family to arrive. And, I'm sitting there by the river and, looking out at the forest and this beautiful meadow with our little camper there. And I realized it was what I had visualized in the jet stream. And I broke down, I wept. It was like this very powerful moment to me. And just, it was one of those moments of like, oh my God, this is my dream. This was my vision, right? And to be able to define that and actualize that in your life in such a short period of time was just super powerful to me, and really a testament to not only the tools that John is giving us here, but really just a much greater understanding of our connection to the world and what our relationship is with the universe, and how all those things can come together. So I just wanted to share that. It was super powerful. Thank you, John, for everything you do. You guys rock.
Oh, Stuart, thank you. And the fact that you recognized, oh my goodness, there it is. It just happened. Man, that's good. So you gotta be willing to look, right? So well done, you guys. I'm so inspired with today's conversation. We're gonna keep it going for a few more minutes. I see David's had his hand up, and then we'll go to Emil and then Kenneth. So David, please come on out, and then Emil and then Kenneth. David.
Hello, mate.
Yep.
How are you, sir?
Very good. So good to see you.
I bet you feel pretty good, mate. Well, there's comments from Julian, Debbie, James, Stuart. Absolutely fabulous. Can you hear me all right?
I can.
Yeah, well, it must be very pleasing. You're changing, the whole process is changing people's lives in what is a very short time in how they perceive themselves. And Julian's there saying he was cynical, he's gone through life, and other people have had their problems, and suddenly there's a positivity, and there's certainly a big positivity with me. And I told you the other day I was a bit skeptical about all these books and these self-made millionaires, and then selling that stuff to everybody else. I'm thinking, oh, bullshit. But actually, it's absolutely fabulous. And when I'm speaking to other people, they can sense my positivity and my change. And it's like, wow, what's happened to Dave?
Yeah.
And it's pretty damn good. And I said to you before, even this, what I've done in terms of this side of the business, I know I'll do well because I'm very capable of doing well, and I know I'll get what I want. And I'm a generous bugger, and I want to look after people. That's where I'm going. And just to everyone, good luck to you all. You're brilliant, John. Big pat on the back, mate. You can see what difference you're doing, and I'm sure it happens to the hundreds of people that go through this process, but very positive. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. So glad you're here. And coming from you, that's big. So thank you. The transformation and how you're occurring to others, right? That speaks volumes. And isn't that a really good thing? I mean, think about that. How you occur in the marketplace will attract whatever you're looking to attract or not looking to attract. Interesting consideration. Yeah. Well done, sir. Emil, or I'm sorry, Emily. I keep saying Emil. Emily.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm so glad to be here, everybody. And first of all, I want to express my gratitude. I'm grateful that I live in a first world country where my problems are first world problems, not third world problems. And I have all the basics that I need. That said, it leads me to my goal. I find myself looking down a lot. I look down at my phone and down at my computer. And some days I look down at myself and I find that my world is getting smaller and smaller. So my goal is to look up and see what all is available to me and make my world bigger and have the financial freedom to do that. And I know that that's not super specific, but making that money and mastering the game, which that's what I think this is, I'm expanding my mind and I'm bringing the money to me so I can do more things and experience more things. And I won't be looking down as much. I'll be looking up a lot more. And that's my goal.
Beautiful. Great perspective. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm like glad you're here. And yeah, you pick your problems, right? So there's other people with bigger problems, different problems that I don't want. So good to hear you have that perspective. Let's go to Kenneth Josiah.
Good morning.
Hey.
Yes. Hey, I wanted to share a quick experience that I went through that kind of, is my motivation. I was living in Japan, and one day I was walking, and this gentleman from Africa, he pulled me aside, and and he just asked me a question. His question was, he said, "Why is it that so many Americans, you guys live in the greatest land of opportunity, that some of you guys are not taking advantage of these opportunities?" And it resonated with me so much. And I'm sitting there, and I had to ask myself, am I taking advantage of all the things that I have set in place for me? Or have I gotten so comfortable just making a living that I don't even push myself? And so I'm a school teacher. And we talk about business and entrepreneurship in some of the units. And one day I looked at myself, I said, instead of me just teaching theory, I want to be that change. I want to live a life that I'm teaching. And it resonated with me. I said, how am I going to talk to these kids about being an entrepreneur? And I wanted to be that example. So these was kind of some of the foundation of me getting started when me start my own business. And my biggest why is this: I can envision myself handing my mother the keys to our house and the car, just telling her thank you. And it's so real to me. When I have this vision, I can just experience it. So, being with this group, being connected with people who also have these similar visions, I'm grateful for that. I just wanted to share.
Thank you. Thank you so much, man. The gratitude is just, it just pours out. And then you see that you're able to accomplish so much more because of your emotional state than if it was all drudgery and stuff like that. And Josiah, I know you've studied some of this stuff too. So you're speaking from experience. So glad you're here, brother. So glad you're here. I got 5 more hands raised, and then we're going to go through it pretty quick, and then we got to wrap up. Although I do see Elaine and Tom in Canada keeps unmuting. Elaine and Tom, did you want to speak?
We still don't have a hand.
Oh, yeah, okay. Go ahead,
Hi,
you
John.
guys.
It's Tom. It's good to see you, and it's good to see everybody else and listen to everyone else in the group. It's a very uplifting hour every morning. And just a little bit further on the goal setting. I was reading some material last night and watched an interview with Bob Proctor, and the goal setting is a strong exercise, especially if you ask yourself as you set the goals, why? What do you see for yourself as a result of that goal, or what is that goal going to provide for you that you can give to others? And so the goal setting exercise, I find, is one of the more revealing things about why we're here.
Yeah. Thank you. And look, again, the voice of experience, right? Without a target, what are we shooting at? So really good stuff there. We're going to go to Janet. Hey, Janet.
Hi, John. Hi, everyone.
There she is.
So I was just wanted to share something. Oh, and of course, the neighbor just started mowing their lawn outside. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so just real quick, probably a lot of people here, and John, I'm sure you are familiar with something called the law of attraction.
Sure.
I've spent, I've kind of dabbled in it and looked at it and read different books and different things. And there's all kinds of detailed, complicated, explanations, blah, blah, blah. And I found myself getting a little bit frustrated because it was just like, well, there's these rules and you have to do this and you can't do this and you got, and people were just making it so complicated. And I just shared in the chat there, I did find somebody else mentioned Bob Proctor. I did find just a meme that he posted on his Instagram page that just boiled it right down to the simplest. And I'd like to share that right now. He says, everything we experience in our life is dictated by our own mind. It is important to, 1, just focus on thinking about what you want, and 2, and this is the key to law of attraction as I understand it, get emotionally involved to attract it into your life. And that was the part I was struggling with is, feeling the feeling of having what you want. And I thought, well, I'm lying to myself. I had this big argument going on in my head. No, all I have to do is think about what I want and get emotionally involved with it. And it was very simple.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna mute Melky. So yeah, Janet, and Proctor was one of my first mentors when I started studying this sort of thing. And there's been a lot of things published around the idea of law of attraction. Fine, but it's not like a new truth. I guess we could put a new wrapper around it again and again. But this stuff has been working as long as people have had the ability to think.
Yeah,
right?
it's just keeping it simple.
Yeah. So simplicity, usability. And I think that as it relates to like learning how to do the technical stuff of Amazon, that's a whole body of knowledge. Okay. But each piece, right? That's why I recommend people make sure you get full conceptual understanding of each concept. Like one word can take you out. Make sure you completely understand exactly what the teacher is teaching. And now you own that. Now that's yours. Now let's take the next piece. The next thing you know, you're going up the mountain. It just doesn't happen in one swift stroke. It's a bit of a process. Thank you so much, Janet, for your distinctions there. We got 4 more people and then we're going to wrap up. So Jamie Young has the floor. Jamie, please.
Hi there, from Washington State. I just one quick. We talked about here's where I'm going. We talked about you talked a little bit about what you want, and I'm a single dad. I think my goal and my first and foremost is to make sure, and whether or not I do this, maybe she'll do it on her own, but I'd like to have the ability to pay for my daughter's college. Fire my company and my boss and retire down there where you are in Scottsdale. And that's on my whiteboard. It's in front of it's on my wall right here in my desk. It's what I look at every day. I'll add some more, and I have added some, but those are my top 3. And the readings that you've put out for us and the goals that we've talked about, and yesterday's call was very hit deeply for me. It's lit a fire underneath me that I haven't experienced in quite a long time. So
wow.
And I hope that's done the same for everybody else around here.
Well, thank you, brother. And it's good to know that we're having an effect, right? This conversation is an important one, and I think like has been said prior, that at first we weren't considering that this was, something that I need, or maybe it was a bunch of fluff or whatever. But then once we actually get it, because this is really about you, right? This isn't about, just my opinion about stuff. This is about you. So glad you're here, brother. So glad. Let's go to Tandy. I think Tandy's got their hand up, and then we do have to wrap up pretty soon. Go ahead, Tandy. Tandy.
Hello.
There's Tandy.
Yes, that's me. Oh, really quick. I just want to say this is my second day enjoying being here, and I've read Millionaire's Mind. I've read Power of Consistency, and I realized that I once had a dream a long time ago, and that dream was crushed by other circumstances that were beyond my control, and it held me captive for years. So when I signed up, I wasn't sure because of looking back at when I was crushed. Then I just decided to just open my mind and just go for it, and written my goal down, and just the why has kept me going. Because I've said before, I stopped because I stopped thinking about the why. And now because I have the why and thinking about that, you know, I just want to be financially free, and I have goals for my 6 months. I have goals for 9 months, and I'm just pushing and looking at them and saying them every day. And just because of those goals, I know that I'm just gonna make it. I am not looking at the past and looking at the clashings and the hurts of the past. I'm just moving on. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Tandy. Look at that. And look at your smile. That is beautiful. Hey, guys, when I say hand is up, I mean, I'm seeing it electronically. I can't see everyone here on the screen. I only see like 6 of you at a time, but I see Joe Olson like this. Joe, I'm unmuting you. Hi, Joe. I'm glad I saw you because I'm just looking at little blue hands, little icons, not you holding your hand, but I just saw you. So what's going on, Joe?
Hi there. I just wanted to say hello to everyone. I'm a week and a half in now, and I must admit, with the Jetstream stuff, coming from a UK background, which is very practical, I was a little bit skeptical, but I got the books. I've been reading through them. I love The Miracle Morning, and I am finding it really, really helpful. But something that really, really did help me, I was really struggling with which coach should I go for. And I didn't know which one to pick. And you're looking at someone that's got 7 figures, someone that's doing 3 products, and so on and so forth. So I read through all their bios, and I find it very difficult to visualize where I want to actually be in the future, you know, and what I want to have. I know it in my head, but I find it very difficult to picture it in my mind. So I've been trying to whiteboard and put a few things up. Going through the exercise of choosing the coach and looking at, okay, who's where I want to be in 18 months? What are they doing that will help me get to that place, perhaps quicker than they did, and then springboard from there? That has really helped me as well. I was really struggling. And The Miracle Morning, the angst I was feeling about it all is really helping me. I'm doing little bits of mindfulness and all sorts of things, and getting there slowly but surely, step by step.
Thank you, Joe. Fantastic. By the way, check your microphone settings. Did Joe sound muffled to everyone? Like, yeah, we could make out the words, but I don't know if you got a microphone on your headset that's maybe behind your head or something, but.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've also got a bit of a cold as well, so I'm a bit snuffly. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. All right. Well, you feel better, and thank you for sharing so much. Let's go to Susan in California. I just unmuted you. Susan.
Hi, yeah, I just wanted to say something. Was kind of I'm piggybacking on what Janet was sharing earlier, but this is just about the fear that we make up in our minds. You know, what's that saying? We have nothing to fear but fear itself. And years ago, many moons ago, I used to be so panicky to go talk in front of a group and would get really nervous, heart pounding and everything. And I broke it down and I realized, you know, I could talk to 2 or 3 people in a big group, no problem. But somehow when we have this big group of 500 people looking back at us, we make this big monster in our head that they're all thinking, criticizing us. And, you know, we just make this monster out of this big group of people. And when I broke it down, I just thought that is so ridiculous. And I never felt nervous again in front of a large group of people. And the other thing is just the power of our mind. I had a root canal one time where they put a virtual reality mask on my face and I was watching a movie. Didn't even know the root canal was done, felt gypped because I wanted to finish my movie. And so just the power of that, the power of distraction and you know, just our minds are so amazing. So anyway, several years ago, I listened to a program called The Mental Bank by Danielle Durant, and she talked about re-scripting our brains. And the idea behind her program was that if you write in cursive, that penetrates your subconscious mind and you can start to change that scripting that we all have gotten about various things about ourselves that makes up who we are today back when we were children. So anyway, I did a little bit of that, but anyway, it was just a lesson to me that when you think it, when you act as if, when you assume it, you imagine it, you visualize it, your brain changes. It just happens. I've experienced it over and over again in my life. And that's all I wanted to share.
Thank you so much, Susan. And now you got me looking forward to root canals. So that's great. Let's go to Melky. Hey, Melky Shea.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. John. I just want to say hi. Today, I think this is my 3rd week with Sophie. I just want to tell you my situation. I'm studying the module. It's okay, but I'm still waiting for the coach. My first coaching session will be on June 12th. You know, John, I work 3 to 11 shift for my daily. That's my daily program. It's hard to find a coach that works with my schedule. My time is, the time that's available for me is in the morning shift, Eastern time between 9 and 12, and after midnight from 1 to 4 a.m.
Okay, I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm going to give you help on that right now. Nina, can you put customer support email address?
Yeah, I reported that to customer service, and they just told me, to be patient and keep on studying. And Sophie is working on those, coaching problems, and just keep on the schedule that I'm giving, and just be patient. So just to tell you,
Demand is
but
extremely high.
I'm waiting
now.
for them.
Yes, the demand is extremely high. It's completely off our topic for today, but okay, I'm so glad you're here, and you will get your coach scheduled here as quickly as possible. So they're working with so many new students, and we are so glad you're here with us, my friend.
Yeah.
By the way, your microphone sounds great, but I couldn't see you at all. It'd be great to see you next time.
Okay, okay,
All right,
thank you.
We got 2 more, and then we got to wrap up. Graham, let's go to Graham real quick. Hey, Graham. Hi, Graham.
Hi, John. How are you?
Good.
Just a quick one. So, just been talking a little bit about visualization and people doing visual boards and things. So, about 10 years ago, I was skiing and seeing these guys on paragliders coming down from the top of the mountain, and thought, I really like to do that. I didn't really think about it, but thought I'd really like to do it. Looked again, every time I went skiing, and then the last 2 years not been skiing, but everywhere I see them, I was looking at them and thinking, I want to do that. I want to do that. And so sometimes visualization takes a while. A week ago, I got my club pilot, so now I can jump off any hill I want to in the UK, or around the world as well. So visualization and ability to do that takes a while for sometimes for you to fulfill your dreams. And I want to say to people, it's not just about the visualization boards. When you're out and about, look at that house and say, well, I'd love that house. Or, somebody spoke earlier about looking up and around and out. And I think the more you do that on a daily basis, the more you stand a chance of fulfilling your dreams, because you become emotionally, as somebody said earlier, attached to them. And you would start to have that feeling of flying or riding a motorcycle or whatever it is you want to do. And you really need to attach to that, and then it'll get there, I'm sure. So big success to everybody, hopefully.
Thank you, Graham. Thank you. So always good to see you, my friend. Always good. And Rena, let's wrap up with Rena. Rena Oden. Rita, are you there?
I'm here.
There she is.
Hey. Hello, John, everyone. I just want to kind of piggyback on Jamie's comment about the college. I have twin daughters, and a single mom, raised them up. I told them that education was important, that they had to go to school, college. I've been very fortunate in my life, and I thought I would continue to be fortunate based on my, faith. But I really didn't know where to go with that. So I knew I would help them. I'm helping them now, but I want to pay for it and give them an opportunity so that they're not drowned in all of that debt.
Wow. That's great. That's a great piece of why right there. So well done. Thank you so much for sharing, Rena. And with that, I think we're going to wrap up, unless there's something burning desire, something has to be shared before we wrap up here today. All right. Well, then, my friends, thank you for another great daily success call. Tomorrow, we've got more thrills and excitement, so definitely tune in. And for all of you joining us on the YouTube channel, if you can make it here live, sometimes that would be great as well, because we love this conversation, and what a great community. Guys, I will see you all tomorrow. You have a great day. You absolutely deserve it. Okay? Bye for now.
Bye. Take care.
Bye. Bye-bye.